Videos. Got it button. Leave meeting. The account owner can also watch this recording. Account. Got it. Zoom meet. Closed. Open part. Stop my video. Alt plus menu. Zoom more option. Open chat panel. Share screen. Zoom host disabled participant screen sharing.
I think sorry. Yeah.
I can't share the screen.
Yeah. Yeah. I forget. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, you can start now.
Close button. OK button. Zoom meeting. Record on this. Share. Select a win. Tap. Sharing options lid. Share sound check. Select sharing. Share screen button. Meeting control. EU. Education in Brazil. Documento. Pain.
Can you see the screen?
Education.
Yeah. Yes, Samara, I can see the screen and you can start.
Miss Samara.
Hi.
Say something. Do you want to say something to Samara Aji? Maybe you want to say good morning, yeah? Good morning in Brazil or something.
Yeah, it's morning here.
Good morning. Okay, you can start now, Samara. You can start.
Okay. Sorry, my computer will speak sometimes.
Yeah.
Sorry for my voice. I have got an allergy because of the weather.
May you get better soon.
Yeah, I hope so. I think some of you may remember me. I'm an English teacher from Brazil. And today I'll talk some more topics related to education in Brazil. And I also want to know some of them about Indonesia, about her country.
Bilingual education.
So the first is bilingual education. I don't know if you have it there, but here we have some bilingual schools. It's where you learn all the subjects like math, science, geography, in Portuguese and English. We learn both languages. We have been working with this kind of school since 1980. Unfortunately, most of these schools are private. We have only one program in Rio, the city of Rio, that is completely free, that the school is public. But most of the schools are very expensive. I've never studied in a bilingual school because it's very expensive. And not only language, but also culture. We have here, one of the schools is named Maple Bear. That is a Canadian school. So you learn about Brazilian and Canadian culture. And not just language.
But the term bilingual achieve equip under the same many of this approach.
And talking about private school, not private, public. Talking about public schools. Some schools, like not only the schools, but also the directors and teachers and some students don't valorize language learnings, like the learning of other languages. Where I studied during high school, my last year of high school, I studied in a public school. and different from
wait,
the other
hope.
private schools that I have studied before. This school, we had a book that the teachers follow. They still have this book, and it's provided by the government, the state government, and it's not municipal, it's from the state government. We also have municipal schools, but this one is state school. And they have this book, but we only have grammar and some texts to read and answer questions, but most of the activities are related to grammar. So this methodology doesn't call attention of these students. So now I know that you are studying to be teachers, to become teachers. Actually, the first meeting I thought you were middle school or high school group, but no, you are university.
Children. Content. Addition. Blank.
And some public schools try to start to implant this methodology of more conversation, more music, but it depends also on the teacher. Sorry?
No, I think it's just...
Did you say something?
No. Okay. Please
Okay.
mute yourself, guys. Okay, whose voice is it? Nanda, okay.
Okay.
Okay, okay, you can continue.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, but it also happens to some private schools. Like I worked as an intern when I was studying. I worked at a private school, and it's a very expensive school, so they invest too much when we talk about language. So they have trips, kind of trips. They have conversation with other people from different countries. And unfortunately, it's not the same for public schools.
Inclusive education. Blank. On
the same happens to inclusive education. I think if you were joining the last meeting, you may remember that I am visually impaired. So I've got many problems, many troubles with inclusive education, not only when I was studying, but also now as a teacher. There's a noise here.
Progib, mute yourself, Progib. Okay, can continue. Sorry.
Okay. So our current president, that I don't know if you have heard about him, and also some ministers of education, culture, they think that disabled people are like trash, that we disturb other people and we may be separated from other students. When I was, I think I was going to this year six here, it's an year of middle school, the 6th year. I went to many private schools that they said that they would not
Number
accept
8.
me. Sorry, my computer again.
Wayfair.
They said that they would not accept me because they didn't have material, they didn't have time, the teachers didn't want to learn how to work with disabled students. And then I found a school. It was private, but not very expensive, so I could study there. And I had a special teacher to help me during the lessons, but then she needed to leave the school, so she was not working there anymore. And the other teachers had the challenge to prepare materials and these kinds of things. But we have here some special schools, but you need to go, it's required that to study with other students at private and public regular schools. So the special schools are only to learn something else. Like, for example, I went to a special school to learn Braille, that is a kind of writing created to blind people, and computing. So that schools teach some special things according to these disabilities. Also about inclusive education, some students, like, they get their certification, but they don't really learn because teacher like, it's explaining, we are not understanding. He or she doesn't know how to prepare material, or sometimes he or she doesn't want to prepare materials. And sometimes we get certification because it's required, but we don't really learn. Unfortunately, this is how our schools work. It's required that you study, but sometimes you don't learn.
Severity, incons, DWP, blank. So
we have this PNE, that is the Inclusive Education National Program, that doesn't work very much, especially now with our current government. But we keep fighting for a better inclusive education.
International.
The last topic. No, I think we have another. Yeah, it's the last. Is about studying in Brazil as an international student. If you are interested about studying in Brazil, it's not too expensive like the UK and the US and Canada and some other countries, but we have some requirements. We have a Portuguese language test that you have to take. If your university is in Portuguese, you have to take it. I have got a friend from Africa, and he's studying here in São Paulo. So his course is in Portuguese, so he needed to take this Portuguese language test proficiency. you don't need a real visa to study here, like a permanent visa. You just need a passport, these documents, and study Portuguese very well to try to go well and get this certification, this test. The test is like TOEFL, like IELTS, and it's the same kind of test. And about my experience as a teacher, that I was already talking, many schools don't accept disabled professionals here. Not only schools, but also many companies. So I've never actually worked at school. I was an intern because it was required. The university required me, so the school needed to accept. But to find a permanent job, it's always a challenge. Sorry, but I'm teaching privately and still looking for a job as a translator or teacher at school. And yeah, I think that's it.
Oh, okay. Is that your presentation, Samara? Okay, have you finished?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, guys. If you have any question for Samara, you can ask some questions about the education in Brazil. But she focus on the inclusive education in Brazil. Yeah. So maybe you have any questions. Perhaps you have some question for Samara. Just ask her any question about inclusive education. And we're still waiting for our Mexican guest speaker to enter this meeting at 7:30. Okay. Any questions? Someone please say something. Anyone please ask her some questions about inclusive education in Brazil.
Itu mau tanya sampai
Ya,
umur
boleh.
berapa education tentang anak-anak yang disabilitas itu sampai umur berapa kira-kira di sekolah?
Okay. Samara, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, but
Okay.
I didn't understand the question.
he asked about the disabled students. Okay. How old are they? How old are they that they are required to get the education? Okay. Are they required to get education until 20 years old maybe, or until certain age? That's the question. That's the question from.
What do you mean?
Tadi pertanyaan dari siapa itu? Aji ya? Aji tadi kan? Mas Likan atau Aji tadi?
No. Mas Likan, ma'am.
Oh, Mas Likan. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah. So Aji. Aji. Mas Likan wants to know the children who got disabilities, they can go to school until in what age? Okay, just something like that. Okay, are they still able to go to school until they reach age 20 something, or in the
Way fab.
Yes, they're able to go to school. I have studied when I was I think during the year 9, we had
Wait for
a blind and autistic student who was 21.
Uh-huh.
So they can reprove many times. When we talk about private schools, but public schools don't reprove any students.
Oh,
So they must pass all the years, even if they are not learning, they need to go ahead, to go to the next year. Is this your question or?
okay. So you can you can still can study. You still can study until reach age more than 20 or 21st, 22. Yeah.
Yeah, we can. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
we can
Uh-huh.
study. There is no age.
Okay, so there is no limitation about the age for the students.
No, but like
Yeah. Mhm.
if you want to, if you don't have a certification and you are, for example, 23, my age, 23,
All right.
and you are going to start from the first year now, like the first year of middle school, you need to go to a kind of education for adults that is not only for disabled people, but for all adults who didn't get their certification. So they need to study with a different group, a group of their age. So if you are 23, you're not going to study with students who are 7 years old, for example. But if you are, I think, on latest years of middle school and high school, you can study with this age.
Okay. All right. Another questions, guys? Okay, we can. Do you understand the answer? Yeah. Okay, have you got the answer? So there is no limitation in the age for the students who have disabilities to.
Ini sampai tua gak apa-apa, Mam ya?
Okay. Okay. So until they reach old age, is it still okay, Samara?
Sorry?
So is it okay for them to keep on studying until they reach quite old age or adolescence age? For example, around 30 or 40, if you want to go, if you want to have a master degree in the university, you still can do that.
Yes, we
30
can.
and 40.
But yeah, to university, there is no age even for non-disabled people. Like, I think some weeks ago, I have seen a woman who is 60 years old and she's just starting university. She's not disabled, but she can start the university. For university, there is no limit of age for anyone.
Okay. Okay. Mas Likan? Another
Yes,
question?
Ma'am. Okay, thank you. It's enough.
Okay,
Welcome.
thank you. Another
Thank you,
question?
Miss Samara.
Okay.
Miss Samara.
Yeah, Aji, do you want to
Hi.
ask a question, Aji, for Samara? Aji?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. Ask her. What is your question, Aji? Aji, are you still there? What is your questions? Okay. Well, we're still waiting for Aji to.
Okay.
Okay, he's just interrupt. Okay. Samara, when you were a child, okay, so you go to the public school or private school?
I went the first 3 years, I went to a public school, then until from the first year to the second year of high school, first year of middle school to the second year of high school, I went to a private school.
Okay.
Then in the last year of high school, I went to a public school again.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if my questions maybe offended you or you feel inconvenienced with my questions. But when you learn reading, when you learn to read, do you have any special, what is it, special writing?
Yeah, I don't know if you have seen this.
Yeah,
It's named
something like
Braille.
yeah, Braille.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've learned Braille, yes. But I also have learned the writing, the normal writing, not
Normal
only Braille.
writing. Okay.
Yeah.
You learn also about normal writing.
Yeah, I have learned.
Okay. So how did you learn? How did you learn it?
I had some letters in, how can I say it? You like, for example, I have learned the normal writing with my parents because the teachers didn't know how to teach me the writing.
Okay.
So they cut a paper. They cut a paper in the format of the letter, so I can I can see the letter, and then I could copy and practice to learn.
Okay, so you have great parents. I think, yeah, they taught you by patiently about the normal writing. Okay, so so your computer also in normal alphabet, ABC, not using
It is, because my computer speaks. I have a reader, so it speaks everything that is written on the screen. Like this file, I could write and edit this file because my computer reads. And it's speaking again and disturbing me. So it reads what's on the screen, and I don't need a Braille computer. I can use this computer, normal computer. You can try to install it. It's just one click, is free.
And I think it must be expensive to afford that kind of computer.
Sorry?
I think it must be expensive to afford this computer, that kind of computer. The computer.
No, it's free. It's free.
It's free. Oh, it's free.
Yeah, you can download it for any computer, and it's free.
Oh, the application is free, yeah. You can download it for free. Okay. Okay, Aji, what is your question, Aji?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. What is your question?
Yeah. Miss Sarah, I want to ask.
Samara, not Sarah.
Samara. Miss Samara. I'm sorry. What is the problem with education in the Brazil?
The problem is education in Brazil.
Yes.
Education is a problem in Brazil. We have like private schools. We have slower education. No, public schools. Public schools will have slower education. Much slower than some private. We don't have equality here in Brazil. So people from vulnerable communities don't learn like people who can pay for an expensive school. And we are very late when we compare to Brazil, comparing Brazil like to the US, UK, Canada, Spain, China. I don't know about Indonesia. I I've never compared the education of Brazil to the education of Indonesia. I don't know how it is there. I've got a friend from there some years ago. He lived in a very poor community, a very vulnerable community, and his education was also very complicated. And now we are worse here because of the pandemic. We had 2 years of online lessons, online classes. All the schools were online, and many students didn't have this access. So they have lost too much. So this is the education in Brazil. Some people can't have access to good education if they don't pay for a school. Unfortunately, this is how it works.
Okay. Aji, do you still have another question?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Miss Samara.
Welcome.
Okay, thank you, Aji. Another questions, maybe? Another question from the others?
Saya, Ma'am.
Okay, whose voice is it? Wait. Nazia, Ziana ya?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, Ziana. Okay.
Wait.
Okay, Miss. I wanna ask, how is the education system in Mexico?
Oh, sorry. Ziana. This is Samara from Brazil, Ziana.
Oh.
I don't know much about Mexico.
Yeah, sorry.
And
We have the guest speaker from Mexico hasn't come yet.
Oh yeah, sorry. How is the education system in Brazilian, yeah, Miss?
Brazil.
Yeah.
you want to know how is the education system?
Super.
Yeah, how is the education system in Brazil? Or yeah, Diana, is it your question?
In which context? Like,
Diana masih ada di sana. Sebut konteks yang seperti apa education in Brazil-nya? Education in Brazil is a large context, ya. Large context. So maybe you can break them up, Samara. Maybe you can something.
yeah, if she's asking about the system of studies, it's like we have to enter, to start studying when you are 4 years old is required, and you have to end to finish when you are 17. Public schools don't reprove people, don't reprove students, but private schools do. So if you don't reach the average, the grade, you will need to study that year again. I don't know if it happens there. But we have 9 years of middle school and 3 of high school. Then we have the university. My course was 4 years. It depends on most are 4 or 5 years of the university.
Okay.
What else do you want?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
maybe that's what Ziana wanted to know about the education in Brazil. Okay, another question, guys.
I am ma'am.
Yeah, siapa itu? Bella.
Yes, Miss Samara, does Brazil have free education?
Okay, is the education in Brazil free for public schools? For public
Yeah,
schools?
we have some free schools that are the public schools. Some of these schools are led by the state, and others are municipal schools. So they are free, and we have the private schools that are paid, that you need to pay. I have studied at private and public. I have studied at both schools. The public education, the free education, is sometimes a bit slower. Like our books are not very interactive. We don't have much accessible material. Like some public schools don't have computer to present slides, different from private schools. But as we have free education. Some schools are good, depends on where you live. Some free schools can be. The last year when I studied, the last year of high school, the public school that I have studied was a great school. It was better than the private school that I was studying. So it depends on where you are and the school.
Okay, I think Adrian is already here. Adrian? Hello, Adrian.
Yeah, hello. Hello,
Hello,
everyone. I'm here.
Hello.
Good morning, Adrian. Okay, Adrian. Okay.
Good morning.
Adrian, this is Samara from Brazil. She just talked about the education in Brazil with us. We have discussion about education in Brazil. Okay, but okay,
Oh,
maybe.
all right.
Okay,
Nice meeting you, Samara.
Yeah, you are from Mexico.
That's right. I am from
Yeah,
Mexico.
mucho gusto, mucho gusto.
Mucho gusto. Yeah, you from Brazil, you said, right?
Yes, I'm from Brazil.
All right.
Okay. So Samara, maybe it's time for Adrian to present about education system in Mexico. Yes, okay, sorry. Okay, sorry. Okay, Samara, maybe you can stop your share screen. Sorry, your screen. Stop your sharing. Okay, do you still want to say something to Samara? Anyone? To ask something to Samara? No?
No, ma'am.
Okay, no, okay.
Thank you, Miss Samara.
Welcome.
Okay, Samara, you can stop.
Yeah, I will stop sharing.
Yeah, stop sharing. Okay, thank you.
Host attendee Zoom. Clickable support link.
Let's see
Logo graph. Meeting
where
continued.
is
Audio setting. Stop
Yeah.
video.